beginning of the story, the woman telling the story and her husband, John, rent out a colonial mansion for the summer. She feels as if her depression is severe, but John thinks she's only sad because she stayed in the same place for so long, which is why they rent out the mansion. Once at the mansion, they go up to their room and are immediately intrigued by the wallpaper. The wallpaper is yellow with lines that start from the same place and then twist and turn and then seem to dissolve into nowhere. One night, she is laying in bed and she thinks she sees a woman trapped behind the wallpaper. John is away on business most of the summer, so his sister, Jane, stays with her as her maid. While John is away, the main character has plenty of time to write in her journal secretly because they told her that she shouldn't do anything while she is resting. With every day that passes, she realizes how much John holds her back from her full potential. Her husband returns home from business to find her pacing around the room, mumbling to herself. When she sees him, he faints, but that doesn't bother her. She just simply steps over him. In the end, she thinks that she is all better, but everyone else thinks that she has gone mad.
The theme of the narrative, The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlie Gilman, is women have the power to be superior over men. People can relate to this because a woman telling the story thought a woman was trapped behind a yellow wallpaper in her new room, which is a metaphor for men holding women back from their full potential. Women today are thought of as self-dependent, but the story was written in the 1800s. Women were thought to be only reliant on men. She exemplifies this when the wife in the reading says, "But he is right enough about the beds and windows and things. It is an airy and comfortable room as anyone need wish. And of course, I would not be so silly as to make him uncomfortable just for a whim." She is explaining how women are expected to do everything a man wants them to do, because they are thought of as the more intellectual being. Charlotte wanted to show women during the time period that men weren't always right. They did make mistakes, sometimes big ones. The theme isn't exactly in the beginning, but it progresses vastly as the tale goes on.
The pace of the story is over a 3-month period, specifically the summer months. In the beginning, the mother was totally devoted to her husband. Over time, though, she starts to doubt her husband and how correct he is. You see, he does not believe I am sick. And what can one do if a physician of high standing and one's own husband assured friends and relatives that there is really nothing the matter with one but temporary plus depression? A slight hysterical tendency. What is one to do? My brother is also a physician, and also of high standing, and he says the same thing. So I take phosphates, or phosites, whichever it is, and tonics and journeys and air and exercise, and I'm absolutely forbidden to work until I'm well again. Personally, I believe that congenial work with excitement and change would do me good, but what is one to do? This is the first step in the wife starting to feel superior to men. Over the course of the story, and her perspective on the wallpaper changes from it being ugly to her seeing someone behind it. She starts to show more defiance towards her husband. The theme is fully developed at the end of the story when the husband faints and the wife steps over him, symbolizing that men sometimes have to look up to women.
We made our own wallpaper. No, she stops it. Stop it. No, because
The story The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. Since the woman telling the story doesn't say her name, we will refer to her as Charlotte. Charlotte and her husband John rented a colonial mansion for the summer at a very cheap price. They rented the house because John believes she is not sick of depression and just needs a change of scenery. This is them arriving at the mansion.
Your exercise depends on your strength, my dear, and your food depends somewhat on your appetite, but you can absorb air all the time, which is why I chose the nursery at the top of the house for your room.
don't like this room. I would prefer the one downstairs that opens up into the piazza and has roses all over the window.
But this is to improve your health and make you better.
I mean, look at this wallpaper. It's horrid. There's even bars on the window.
It's a big, airy room with windows that look all ways. Sunshine and galore. And plus, we're only staying here for 3 months.
All right, dear.
Here, I'll give you time to settle in.
Well, today was exciting. John and I took a walk around the house. The wallpaper is still immensely grotesque. It has no pattern. What does this craziness even mean? I have to stare at this ugly mustard yellow all day, and I spend every second of it trying to study it. Between you and I think there's this spot in the wall that moves sometimes. Maybe I'm just going crazy.
Sweetie, do you want to see your little boy?
Yes, I would love to. Thank you, Jane.
Well, come on now. We can't leave the baby unattended for too long now, can we?
Open the door, my darling!
No, I can't.
What is the matter, for God's sake? Open the door!
I finally got out. Despite you and Jane, I've already peeled off most of the wallpaper, so I can't go back.
Please, we can help you. I swear we won't put you back in. Everything is going to be all right.
No, it won't.
I'll give you time to settle in.